Hey, what's up? It's Liam Davis here, and in this video, I wanted to talk about not resisting help when you know that you need it. So, to do this, I want to tell you a story. Last year, I went traveling around Southeast Asia, and I went around for 6 months with my girlfriend at the time. Her name is Remy. We went traveling, and it was one of the best trips that I've ever been on. I've traveled to a lot of different places, and this was definitely one of my favorites. So, to start off the trip, we first flew into Phuket in Thailand, and we spent a few weeks there until we traveled up the country and eventually arrived on an island called Koh Tao. Now, Koh Tao was an absolute beautiful island. I had an amazing time. It was like when you close your eyes and picture this beautiful, like just tropical island with crystal clear water and beautiful blue skies and just yellow and white sand and just absolute gorgeousness. That's what this island looks like. And this island, it's as well as being beautiful, it's actually known for being a scuba diving island. And that's where I decided to get my scuba diving license. Now, the reason I never thought about scuba diving before, but I've always wanted to go cage diving with great white sharks. And you can do it here in Australia. I'll probably end up doing it in South Africa. But I've always wanted to do that. And in order to do that, you need to have your scuba license. So I decided, you know what? I've never thought about this, but if I need it to live one of my dreams, do one of my goals, then that's what I'm going to do. So we found a dive center that we wanted to go and get our scuba license from. And we just had an amazing time. The person that was teaching us, he was a great guy. He was a lot of fun, just really relaxed, and you could tell he just really loved scuba diving. And that's always great, isn't it? When you work with someone or you learn from somebody that's really passionate about what they do, it makes it a lot easier for you to enjoy it and you to be passionate about it as well. So to get your scuba license, it is what is it? It's a 3-day course where you go diving the first day, second day, third day, and then you do a test, and then you're given your license. So on the third day was my final day. I had had no problems up until this point. And on my third day, you know what? To go back to my first day, what's really cool is, again, I've never thought about scuba diving, but I want to do it to go see great white sharks. And the first day that I went out scuba diving, most people, they go out in a pool. Whereas with this dive company we went straight into the ocean. It was really just a beach. And on that very first day, as we were swimming around, as we were learning to scuba dive, we saw a bunch of reef sharks just swimming around, about 3 or 4 of them, little baby ones, but they're probably bigger than that, little baby ones that were just swimming around. And it was just so cool to see because like, wow, that's kind of what my dream is, but on like a much bigger, much more dangerous, much scarier scale. But anyway, back to day 3. Day 1, day 2 went off without a hitch. Day number 3, we ended up going to this small island. Funnily enough, it's called Shark Island because the island kind of looked like a shark fin. It didn't really, but it kind of looked like a shark fin. And my diving instructor, his name was Sasha. He told us that it's quite often that you see whale sharks there as well. So I was pumped up. I could not wait for this day. I was so excited. And once we pulled up, we docked, we had all our gear on. It's time to jump in the water. And that's where the trouble happened. I jumped into the water. I wasn't holding on to any ropes and I wasn't holding on to, the boat or anything like that. And I jumped in and I just started getting taken away by this riptide. And everyone else, for some reason, maybe they were better swimmers than me. Maybe they didn't get caught in it. Maybe they were holding onto a rope. But everyone they still remained around the boat. But me, I'm not a very good swimmer. I didn't even want to do scuba diving. I'm also an asthmatic. I was born with asthma. So I got caught in this riptide. And in about 1 minute, I looked up and realized that I was about 50 meters away from the boat. Now, I don't know how long that is in feet. You can do the math on that, but it's about 50 meters away from the boat. And at this point, I am kicking, I am screaming, I am doing everything I can to swim back to this boat. I'm literally shitting my pants because I don't know what's going to happen. I just feel like I'm being drifted out to sea, and I feel like this is it for me. I'm just gonna like exhaust myself, and my asthma is getting really bad, and I just felt like that was the end. I didn't feel like I was going to die, but at that point, I didn't see how I was going to get out of this situation either. I don't know if you've been in a situation like that, but that's how it was for me. And I was panicking. And then all of a sudden, there's a guy named Adrian. Now, Adrian, he was an Irish guy, young guy. He was a volunteer for the dive company. And he, of all people, my diving instructor had to stay back with everyone else. But Adrian was like, shit, Liam is in trouble. He didn't think about it. He didn't, he didn't wait around. He didn't ask anyone's advice. He just jumped in and he swam after me. And again, I am kicking, I'm screaming, I'm doing everything I can to swim back to this boat. I probably look like an idiot because I'm not a great swimmer. That's my fault for always skipping swimming day at school. But Adrian, he made his way all the way out to me. He brought with him one of those safety ring things, like a lifesaver. He put that around me, and he, with my, he instructed me on how to get back. And Adrian basically dragged me back to the boat. And that day, I feel like he almost saved my life because I didn't know how I was going to get out of that situation. And here's the thing. I could have been so independent and so manly and just denied his help and been like, dude, I've got this. I can make it back. But there's just sometimes in your life that you have to realize that no matter how confident you are in yourself, no matter how much you believe in yourself, sometimes you just need help. You need someone to help you out. And that's what I learned that day. Without Adrian, I don't know what would have happened to me that day. I know I definitely would have shit my pants if it wasn't for him, but it might have been even worse than that, which is possibly drowning, just possibly, who knows what could have happened. But I accepted his help, and he didn't hesitate to come help me. And because of that, I made it back to the boat safe, where I went and talked to my diving instructor afterwards, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucked. I can't go diving today. Is it possible to go diving again tomorrow? And he's like, of course you can. Because at that point, my asthma was just so bad, I was panicking that I just couldn't do it. So the next day we went diving, and that's the story. The plot thickens. It gets worse than this. But I'm going to share that story with you in the very next video. But that's all I wanted to share with you, is that sometimes you need to realize that what you've been doing is not working alone. And sometimes when someone reaches out to give you a hand, sometimes you just need to accept that and really just accept someone else's help so that you can get back to the boat. You can get back to where you need to be. And there's no shame in accepting people's help, okay? So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, or share it on, if you're on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. If you're on my blog, share it on your social media sites, share it on your Facebook, leave a comment below. Has anything like that ever happened to you? Have you ever been in a situation where you were just like, you just didn't know what was going to happen, and then someone just dived in and they helped you? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd really like to know that I'm not the only one that's such a horrible swimmer that I nearly drowned, okay? So, and watch out for the next video, because I'm going to tell you about the third day of my diving experience where it gets even worse, okay? So go watch that video now, and I'll see you in just 1 minute.